What's good, YouTube? This is Rob, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how I pick my daily driver. Now, the way I pick my daily driver could be a lot different than you guys, but I'm very particular about what phone goes in my pocket. And therefore, I have created somewhat of a unique checklist of things that I like to go through when it comes to picking out the phones that most likely be my daily driver. Now, the way I go about doing it may be a lot different than the way you may do it, but I like to go in a specific order when I walk in the store or when I'm looking online to purchase a phone that I think can be my main phone for however long until the next daily driver shows up. First up on my list is great looks, meaning the material from which the phone is made from. I have no true preference whether it's made from glass or metal or any other material, as long as the phone has that boss factor to it. It must look good. I mean, it might seem kind of shallow, but everybody likes a phone that looks good. And I tend to go for those phones that kind of like grab my attention from the top. Number 2 on my list is the display. 2K screens will always score more points with me. I also prefer AMOLED panels, even though I am partial to LCD and some OLED displays, but my favorite is AMOLED. I like how the colors pop. Sometimes I go for the oversaturation of the colors when it comes to those type of panels. It means a lot to me when I look at these panels on outside to see how it compares in sunlight. If a panel can pretty much handles bright outdoor settings, that's a major thumbs up for me. Next on my list, storage. Storage is important to me. I really do not like a phone right now these days with 32 gigabytes of storage. That's the new 16 gigabytes. That's the new low end. A lot of these phones now have real heavy software. Samsung, LG comes to mind when it comes to their UI and how their skin is so heavy. And sometimes when you open up the phone and you go into the storage, you find out that these skins, along with the Google software that's underneath it, has pretty much eaten up anywhere between 11 maybe 12 gigabytes depending on the situation, and you're really left with really 22 gigabytes. So a lot of these phones truly aren't 32 gigabyte phones, and that goes for phones that's 64 or 128. So in a lot of ways, to compensate for those heavy skins, I need to start off at least at a minimum of 64 gigabytes of storage when it comes to phones. Next on my list is software. Software can play a factor in me choosing a phone. I do like the Samsung Experience, or aka TouchWiz. I do like HTC Sense. I'm also I'm getting used to the LG skin a little bit, even though it's a little cartoonish. Now, stock will always be number 1 with me, but I can deal with those skins. I do like the fact that Samsung do offer you a lot of options with their skin. You can theme it, you can make it your own. The AMOLED paneling when it comes to skinning with dark wallpapers can be a battery saving factor. So within that aspect of preferring the skin, that does play a factor in my decision when it comes to purchasing a phone. Overall though, I prefer stock, but if I had to go with a skin, I would probably have to go with Samsung, maybe HTC Sense and LG skins first. A lot of the other skins on the unlocked phones, EMUI that you find on a lot of the Huawei phones are pretty decent, but overall it doesn't provide as much options as some of the bigger boys that you find out there. Whether you're looking online or you're looking through a camera at a store, cameras can play a factor into it, but you pretty much have to rely on the quick shots that you can take at the store, or if you're viewing a phone that's unlocked, you're pretty much dependent on that camera based on information you're reading, the stats, whatever, how the sample pictures may be online, or the pictures that you actually may take if you're in a store like Best Buy or whatever. But you're very limited when it comes to camera, so you almost have to pretty much factor in the camera kind of low, but at the same time it's important to know what that camera can do, because like I said, you could be stuck with that for at least the next couple of years. Some of the extras you find in phones can have a lot of impact on whether or not you're going to purchase a phone or not. For example, fast charging, waterproofing. A lot of those things do play a factor when it comes to buying a phone. And sometimes it's getting to the point now where you actually expect those things to be on some of the phones that are out today, even mid-level phones. But now it's getting to the point now where the headphone jack is now becoming an option, and it can play a factor in someone buying a phone. A lot of people don't want to invest that extra money in Bluetooth, or they think that having a Bluetooth headphone could somehow compromise them. Whereas if you forget to charge the Bluetooth headset, you can run out, and therefore you lose access to maybe listening to your music at a critical time when you want to listen to your music. So therefore a headphone jack is always a plus when it comes to purchasing a phone. Overall though, when it comes to those type of little things, that can be also a make it or break it, and it could play a different role on somebody's list when it comes to buying a phone. The last thing that comes on my list is the price. Now, this is where a lot of people lists will vary. Price on a lot of people's lists may not be the last thing, but on my particular list, it is. Now, usually if I'm going to buy an expensive phone, more likely I'm going to try to do it through a carrier. Unlocked phones, I'm going to make sure I get the unlocked phone that I want. But for the most part, if the phone is going to cost a lot of money, I'm going to get it through a carrier. Therefore, I can take my time and pay the phone off either throughout the entire period of the contract, or I can pay it off in portions, larger portions, to get the phone free and clear faster than it would take than going through a normal contract. A lot of unlocked phones, I'm very particular about how high I will go in the price, and if there's somehow this phone I know will end up on a carrier, more than likely I'm going to wait. But for the most part, unlocked phones I will purchase at a minimum of I'm probably between, my roof is $650, maybe $750, depending on the actual phone, and under. So like I said, price may vary on everybody's list. It could be one for you, two or three, but for me, being a YouTuber, it ranks somewhat low on my list, and therefore, like I said, I usually figure out different methods and different ways of paying off that phone in a lot faster way. Now, what grabs your attention as what can make your phone a daily driver may differ from my list. It could be the looks, it could be the price, it could be the materials the phone made of, it could be the feel in the hand and the size of the phone itself. Whatever makes it on your list as how you determine how you buy your phone is your personal list and your list only. I thought I'd let you know how I go about picking phones out that I'm going to keep in my pocket as my main phone. Now, if you like this video, guys, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and also down below in the comments, please leave me your list of how you determine how you purchase your phone. It'll be interesting to see how a lot of you people go about picking a phone that you're going to keep probably for 2 years. I hope you like this video, guys. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out.